And welcome back to another episode 2 of Kyoudai Ai podcast. Um, two brothers from another mother, back at it again.
Yeah, well, technically.
Technically,
Technically, we got the same mom.
technically, yes.
Two
That was
brothers.
the whole point. That was the setup. Me tossing it to you, and you not doing
Fumbling.
it. So it was tossing, and not getting there.
Oh, I fumbled it. My bad.
So that was supposed to be an easy one.
Take 3.
Take 3. So we're back again.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Another week down. Ready to go more in depth about the shows we've been watching. What is it called again? Yeah, I'm so bad.
What do you mean? What is what called?
The shows. I always forget what the shows are called. Kamen Rider and all that. Like, but what the genre?
Tokusatsu.
Tokusatsu.
Toku.
Toku.
You can just say Toku, Toku, or Tokusatsu.
Tokusatsu. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the full name is Tokusatsu, but Toku works.
Toku. All right. It's gonna take me a couple of times, so don't be mad at me if I have to ask you 5,000 times.
It's fine. I mean, I'm sure there's people right with you. You just call it whatever you want to watch. I mean, call it whatever you want to call it. But
I'm writing it down.
Specifically, we're watching Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. But as a genre, it would be Tokusatsu.
Bang. All right. I got it. I wrote it down. I got it. All right.
So I think you said you had some stuff you wanted to share with the class, right? So let's start with what we've been listening to. What you've been listening to?
Yeah, I have. So when we did it last time, I forgot to mention a couple of things. So like I listened to this guy named Mora. He's a Latin artist, or reggaeton and all that good stuff. But he just put out a new album, like May 18th, and it's pretty good. I've been listening to it at the gym, just playing his album, and that's been getting me through some. Whoops, I didn't want to play it. That's been getting me through some things, and I just started Arcade Fire's new album. I didn't finish it. Yeah, I didn't finish it yet, but I like some of their stuff. I like used to listen to them back in the back. Like, oh yeah, Reflector, that album. Woo, good stuff. But and I also listened to T Grizzly's album and Key Glock. I'm a fan. I don't know
I've heard the name T Grizzly, but I don't think I've heard any of his tracks, or if I have, I don't know. I don't know about him.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, would I listen to him like every day? Probably not. I would say he's more of a gym listen to me. Like, gets me kind of like hyped up for the gym and whatnot. But I like Key Glock, his music, because he's like an artist that worked with Young Dolph and everything like that from Memphis, and I really like Dolph, and Key Glock is like has a similar energy, so I really like his stuff.
Okay.
Even outside of the gym, like I'll probably listen to him more often. And then anybody else? Where's my hold on, it's around here somewhere. I got you guys. I've been listening to some house music, which is and Friends, like ampersand Friends. That guy.
Just somebody else, not Anderson .Paak. You're talking about somebody else.
Yeah. Like, hold on. Let me see if I can actually. I don't know if it's gonna catch, but like, his name is like and Friends, like ampersand Friends. So it's pretty cool. He has a track called Jackie B. I saw it on Instagram, and I was like, whoa. I listen to Brent sometimes, and it didn't disappoint. It was nice.
Okay.
Has some Afro house vibes to it, and I was like, I can get jiggy with some Afro house. I love me some Afro house. Yeah, but that's been the listens lately. Um, I think over the weekend I like have a mix of like Afro house, and I listen to that occasionally. So that's pretty much it.
Well, I haven't been really listening to anything new. Um, this week's episode was mostly catching up with what you were up to.
Mm,
So next week, I think I will have my 2024 playback.
okay. Oh
So
yeah,
maybe we can go through that.
I need to figure out how to. I need to figure out how to do that. I don't know how to do that.
Well, it's pretty easy. I have mine pulled up, but we're gonna try to keep it quick on the
Yeah.
random topics this week, so we can get into the toku because
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how long that's gonna take. That might take up most of the time. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. But one
Yeah.
track I did listen to today, I think is the first time I heard it, was Earth Gang. What was it? It was a new Earth Gang song that I had never heard of. I don't know
Okay.
if you had heard of it.
Maybe.
You know Earth Gang, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know Earth Green.
AWOL. AWOL. Have you heard it?
I don't know. I'm about to look it up now, see if I'd have AWOL. 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 I don't know, maybe. Hold on.
Yeah, it was kind of a vibe. Earth Gang is one of those groups that I don't know when I started listening to them, but
I think I have heard it. I think you might have played it for me. Hold on, let me I'm about to mute myself in here a little bit.
one second. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Something weird happened.
Okay.
Like the feed cut out all of a sudden, and then it came back.
Okay. All right.
So as we were. Oh, once again, I am Super Jolly Mac, your host. I don't think I did that at the top of the episode. And this is Don the Van, the man.
DonTheVan, the man.
But as you were saying,
Yeah, I've listened to that album from Earth Gang, so I've probably heard the song before.
which
Uh
album?
it's oh shoot. It's
How many albums
Strays
do they have? Stray
Strays with
Dogs?
Rabies.
Okay.
No,
Strays
Strays
with
with
Rabies.
Rabies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it was. Yeah.
They have, oh gosh, how many albums do they have? Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 albums. Not including
Honestly,
mixtapes.
I've never listened to the entirety of Strays with Rabies,
Mm-hmm.
but there's like a good 3 or 4 tracks that I would play back to back. Like I would play them over and over just on repeat.
Mm-hmm. I think you let me see if I can I don't even you know what? I'm not even gonna try it. I'm not gonna try it. I was gonna try to guess which ones you played. I've seen you play a couple of these songs before.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
All right. Any other music?
Also,
Oh,
weird thing was did you play Spider-Man 2?
nah.
No?
No.
Okay.
I know.
I
I
don't
know.
think I want to spoil it. You know? You know
No,
what?
I never played it, but you're
Uh,
one of their songs is in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you did. I think you
And
told me about that.
okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Even Spider-Man has some really good choices.
Yeah.
Like the PlayStation Spider-Man. Because
Yeah.
Miles, did you play Miles Morales? No.
No.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't play any of them. I only played
None of them?
none. Nope. Mm-mm. I know.
Not even the first one.
No, I played the first one up until I fought like Electro for the first time, and
Bro.
that's pretty early on.
Bro. Bro.
I know. I know. My friends said the same thing. They said I should have played it.
Bro.
I mean, they got Spider-Man 3 coming out, right? Aren't they supposed to be making that? Insomniac? No. Oh, whoops.
I mean, I'm sure it's on the books, but no, they haven't announced anything.
Whoopsies. Look at me trying to leak stuff out.
You can't leak what you don't know.
You know what? That's true. Speculation.
Anyway, they have some interesting choices. Like I think Jaden. It took me forever to figure out if it was actually Jaden Smith or not. I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
He does a track at the end of Miles Morales that's pretty good. And then honestly, Earth Gang I think was like as soon as you boot up two, they're like playing it, and I'm like,
Oh
how
dang.
did it get Earth Gang? Did it get, like,
Hey
I
man.
would you consider Earth Gang like mainstream? They're mainstream.
They're probably nah. I would no.
No,
No. I think out of everybody in the Dreamville camp, well, they're more
but they are
mainstream than most of them.
they're in Dreamville, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's J Cole, it's Jid JID, uh, Earth Gang. Well, they're if they're not A list, they're B list. Because I know J Cole's A list as far as like mainstream goes, so he's mainstream.
Yeah.
Like they're like right under mainstream, if not
Is Jid
mainstream.
not mainstream?
Uh, no, I wouldn't say so. No, I would say he's
Oh,
like in the same level as Earth Gang. They're like right under mainstream because like they don't. I don't think. I don't know. I don't consider them to be mainstream. Yeah, because like I don't hear them. One, I don't hear them on the radio. Two, I don't
um,
necessarily hear their songs in media like a lot, and then I don't hear them in conversations of like people talking like in music
hey,
that
Mr.
much.
Music Man, Mr.
Yeah. Hey man,
Industry head.
you gotta stay in touch. You gotta keep your finger on the pulse. You know. Yeah, I listen to a lot of people who do like song reviews or breakdowns or whatever. Yeah. Heck yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, did you watch any new shows or movies this week?
I have not. Um, I was thinking about going over 2024 stuff, but if you've watched some stuff, let's go with what you've done and then keep it
Mhm.
short this week. So let's talk about what we've been watching. What have you been watching?
This week I actually went to the movies. I saw Final Destination on Friday. I forgot to mention that
How
last
was
time.
that?
I liked it. I was all right. Look, I was surprised. I did not expect to actually enjoy it as much as I did. Me and my friend were in there, and we were like, "Yo, this looks mad enjoyable."
Okay, but argument to be made. You
Okay.
also enjoyed what was that one movie you dragged me to? Uh,
What?
the one where uh,
Are you talking about The
everything
Purge?
is legal. Yeah, The
Yeah.
Purge.
This was better than that, I would say. Well,
I would hope
way better.
so.
No,
I would hope so.
I was disappointed when we saw The Purge. I was like, ah. I was like, ah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have
we
wasted
were
my card
talking
on
that
that.
up too. It was like, yo, you got to watch this movie. It's The Purge, man. You don't know. You
Well,
don't know.
the one I saw before that was pretty decent, and that one, the one we saw, didn't quite live up to the hype. So
Was it the
yeah,
second one that we saw?
the third one, I think.
The third one?
I think so. Yeah, the second one was the one I saw, and the second one was actually pretty decent. I actually enjoyed the second one a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, the third one was kind of weird. I was like, what is going on? Yeah.
I thought about getting back into the Final Destination franchise, but I forget the last one I've seen.
Yeah. I think this one was, I want to say 6.
It's gotta be. I think I've
Yeah.
seen the first 2 or 3.
Yeah, because the first one was the one centered around the airplane. The second one was the one centered around the highway, the like the truck and
Yeah,
everything. The
yeah.
third one was the one centered around the roller coaster.
I may have seen that one.
Yeah, with the, I want to say college kids, but I don't know. But the roller coaster. The fourth one was the racetrack.
That I didn't see. Did I see parts of that? I might have seen parts of that one too.
That one, it was okay. Like I feel like they kind of like were going up, then they took a dip. But the fifth one was the one. centered around the bridge, which was like a prequel in a way, which was like a yeah. And then this one, it's weird. It's like a prequel, but it's also after the fact. It's the time you gotta watch it to understand, but it makes sense when you watch it. Like it's hard to explain without spoiling it, but yeah, it's like a prequel, but not. It's actually it's really cool. Like I think they should do more of what they did in the beginning of the movie. Like if they decide to do another one in the next one, because it was really cool the way they did it. But yeah, it was. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm actually debating going to see it again. Actually,
Well,
yeah,
okay.
I really liked it, which surprised me. I really liked it. Yeah. So, but I saw that, and I'm rewatching the Marvel movies from the Infinity Stone saga, and I'm at Captain America right now. So
The first one?
yeah, the first Avenger. It's really cool
Yeah,
to go back and watch it. I don't remember some of the details from the other ones. Yeah.
yeah. I remember not liking the first Avenger that much. That kind of turned me off. The first
Mm-hmm.
wave of Marvel movies. I think I caught it on a plane or something like that eventually.
Yeah. It's it's a it's a slow burn. It's not the best. I feel like they caught their stride with Captain America when they hit Winter Soldier, when they got the Russo brothers to come
Yeah.
in and direct it. They definitely caught they got that down packed. I say
The
yeah, that's
rest of the Captain Americas, like impeccable. I love them.
yeah. Yeah, we're not counting
I even like the
well,
new one, the
really
newest
you
one.
I haven't seen it actually, but I don't count it. I don't count it.
I mean, I think that might just be above the first one for me. So it might be like 2, 3, 4, or I don't know how I would rank it. I would rank it below the other two, I think,
Yeah.
but I still don't think it was as bad as everybody seems to think it was.
Okay. When it comes to streaming, I'll check it out. I I'm I don't know if it's still in theaters right now,
Yeah,
but I don't think I want to go to see it. But yeah, I mean, and I would say the same thing. I would say the same thing for Thor, but I feel like the only good Thor
and
was Ragnarok, and that's only because it just made sense. Like it made sense in the timeline of everything that was going on, and it fit as far as like the personalities of the characters and like the connectiveness of them. But I feel like they drug it out too far. Like Ragnarok in itself was a good little centerpiece of them being funny together. And then but after that, when they hit like because after that actually we didn't see Thor until what? Infinity War, and that's when it kind of took a serious tone. Like we didn't see Thor and
yeah,
Hulk again until then. And I'm like, you should have kept them more serious, but they tried to make them more Ragnaroky. And I was like, nah, that was good for what it was, but moving forward should have been different.
yeah, I didn't really like the Ragnarok vibe for Thor. I mean, I
Really?
don't know. I don't know if it's just the movies or him specifically, but
Yeah.
yeah, those weren't my favorite.
Yeah. You like the first two better?
No, the
Oh.
first one. No, the first two. Yeah, no. Sure, I guess if you put it in that perspective, then that wasn't that bad.
That's how I was looking at it. Like when I say
Sure.
Ragnarok's like the best Marvel movie, no, no, it had moments, but
What out of Thor movies? Okay,
yeah,
okay, I can give you that. I
yeah,
might be able to give you that one.
yeah. Like if we're just talking movies with Thor in it, Infinity
Yeah,
War is definitely my top pick, hands down. Yeah, heck yeah. Shoot, I'll even say Age of Ultron might be a close second.
maybe.
Yeah, that's a sleeper. People be sleeping on that one. I love that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my update for movie and shows.
Okay. Well, we're already starting to get pretty long. Let's go ahead and start getting into the Toku side of things, so we don't make it way too long. I don't know how how much time this is going to take up.
Yeah.
So there's two different ways we can do this. I can go over the summary and then kind of a brief synopsis. You want to go episode by episode?
Um. Yeah, we can do that. We can do like a summary and brief synopsis, and then just some key points from the episodes, and then switch to the next show.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then let's start with Kamen Rider Kuuga. Um, so Kamen Rider Kuuga is what season is this? I forget which rider this is, but this is the first one in the Heiwa
Mm.
series, I think. So the first one after a long, long break. And this is kind of reviving Kamen Rider, the show, to like everyone. Um, in fact, every title in this season, but this
Mm.
is like a full season. Kuuga will be the whole season, will be
Mm.
called Kuuga. And then next season, it'll actually be a different rider.
Mm.
No future spoilers, of course, but every episode in this season has like a two kanji name um,
Mm.
that I've seen. Um, that and that's kind of just the vibe they're going with it. So episode one, first off, the opening to Kamen Rider Kuuga is Kamen Rider Kuuga. That's the name of the title song. Hopefully you didn't skip it.
No, I watched
By
it.
Masayuki Tanaka.
Yeah.
And also, not all of the seasons have this, but this one has an ending song as well called
Mm.
Aozora ni Naru by Jin Hashimoto.
I actually like the ending song. Like whenever I watch the show, I give it the opening at least once just to see what it's like, and then I give it the ending at least once to see what it's like. And I've actually watched the ending for the for the Kuga twice.
I mean,
I
it's
was
a
like,
vibe.
yeah, it's a vibe.
It feels like one of those sitcom things,
Yeah.
and you'll see like Kamen Rider. I don't think I've seen an ending. Kamen Rider reminds me of One Piece, and you haven't seen One Piece, so you won't get this. But
Mm.
One Piece in the beginning had ending themes,
Mm-hmm.
and they were pretty good. There's some really, really good. Like one of the endings of One Piece are like one of my favorite songs, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But then they went away. I think they just brought the ending themes back to One Piece this last season. But Kamen Rider is also the same. Like they have opening themes, and we'll get
Mm-hmm.
into that in future series or
Mm-hmm.
future series. Uh, they're interchangeable. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so we'll get into that in the future. But opening songs are like here or there. This is an oldie, so I mean you can't really knock it. It is what it is.
Yeah. I
It's still
like
better
it.
than some of the '90s cartoons where they just say the name of the show over and over in different tones.
Yeah, I can't
So,
lie.
I mean,
Some
not
of them were
horrible.
bangers. Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
Yeah,
Ed, and Eddie. What? Yeah, what?
I'll leave that one to you. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'll leave that one to you.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
I think that's the right one.
All right.
Uh,
That's all you, buddy. But anyway, episode one is Fukatsu, which is revival in Japanese.
okay. That
So the
makes sense.
synopsis is a group of archaeologists open a tomb that awakens horrible monsters while journeyman Yusuke Godai is compelled to access a strange belt from a tomb to fight back against them.
Mm.
And that is the brief synopsis that they have when you look up the episode.
Yeah.
So this episode, you want to go in detail on what happens in the episode, or just uh, talk about what we liked about it?
About
I
what we
guess I
like.
can go into a little bit more detail.
Yeah.
So we're going to spoil the episode. Hopefully you watched it. So
Yeah.
we open in Nagano, which is um, kind of far from Tokyo. I've been there once. I think they had a Winter Olympics there once, which has nothing to do with the series, but it's further north than Tokyo. It's a little
Yeah.
bit of a hike. But that's where we start. And there's this team digging in a ruin that they found. They break into a sarcophagus and find some seals, some runes, and things like that. So they break something, and then like chaos ensues. Um, After that, we cut to Sakurako Sawatori, and Yusuke Godai. So Yusuke, they said a journeyman in the synopsis, but he's kind of like yeah, I guess Journeyman does it. He kind of does a lot of different things, it seems. Um,
Hmm.
so he's talking to Sakurako, and he's greeting her after being on for some time. And then they get a phone call from the site, and it sounds like something's going on. So he dips out, goes there, and sees the police uh, kind of casing the place.
Hmm.
And they're told that everybody dies. So everybody got killed by
Hmm.
something that happened. And the police start taking out little artifacts and things, and we get a glimpse of something that looks like a belt.
Hmm.
Um, so he tries to sneak in, gets caught by the detective. The detective is what is it? Ichijo. So it's Kaoru Ichijo. And then he gets taken to the station with Sakurako, and they kind of ask some questions about what happened to the team. And he asked them some questions about the runes and if they can decipher them and the belt. And then the station gets attacked by this monster. uh, the belt falls down, or it's just a big stone thing at that point. But Yusuke sees it, gets some visions of someone fighting, and then for some reason just sticks it on him, and it gets absorbed into his body, and then he turns into Kuuga
Hmm.
uh, in the white form and
Yeah.
starts fighting.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much no. Okay, he goes into this white form, Kuuga, um, and manages to drive off the monster. And I think that's where we cut at the end of that episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
thoughts?
I thought it was a good. I mean, it was a nice intro episode. I mean, you get a feel for Yusuke as like a character. Obviously, he's caring, and because like when he's introduced, he's like helping this kid out or something like that. Like I think the kid was lost or something. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, there's a little kid. Yeah, I forgot about that. There's a little kid lost in his parents, and he goes into this deep story that's like way too much for a little kid.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I was like, all right, dude.
It
Like,
almost
because he,
sounds like he's talking like he's a war vet talking to somebody, and then it cuts and you see this little kid, and you're like, "What are you doing, man?"
yeah. For a second, I thought they were breaking the fourth wall. I was like, oh, he's talking to me.
Yeah,
I had to rewind it. I was like, oh, I should be paying attention.
yeah,
And then, like, yeah, it cut to the kid, and I said, oh, okay. I was like, that doesn't make sense, but all right, I'll let you rock.
yeah.
But he seems a bit, what's the word? Not eccentric. Maybe eclectic. I don't know if eclectic's the right word, but he seems a bit out there a little bit.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But he's cool. But you get a sense of his character and everything from that. He's definitely a jokester. I will say that he's definitely a jokester. Um, and
Sure, a
I mean,
prankster. I don't know about jokester, but yeah, he
a
tries
prankster.
to prank Sakurako.
Yeah,
Sakurako with a
yeah,
mask. He has a mask on when he sees her the first time, but she obviously knows what's up.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You gotta be quicker to get one past her. But again, I thought it was a good introduction into like I guess the world of Kamen Rider Kuuga because I mean they don't give you too much information at first, but you get enough that keeps you interested. Like at least with him seeing the rider in the vision with the belt and then him putting it on and him fighting the first monster of the week. Sure.
yeah,
And then that I thought that was pretty cool. Again, we talked about this in the last episode. The effects were kind of crazy, but you know, you gotta do
yes,
it.
yeah,
You gotta work. If you're working on a budget, you gotta make do with what you got. And they did. And it was fine. It was entertaining enough. But I think it's cool that he has mannerisms. Like when he was talking to the officer and like and everything like that. And he did like his thumbs up and stuff. And then like when he was in the helicopter, he did his thumbs up and the officer was like,
yeah.
wait, I've seen that thumb before. I was like,
Which I
I
guess
was
is
like,
good because it's like there's no secret identity with this guy. That's one of the things with, well, I guess no future spoilers, but writers, I don't know, but there's no secret identity.
yeah.
The cops
Well,
know who he is, or that cop knows who he is.
that cop knows who he is. Yeah. I was gonna say in the later episodes, I don't think they know who he is because he wasn't telling them. He was just like, "What is it? Mystery alien number 2 or 4?" Like they called both his form.
Unidentified, yeah,
Yeah.
he has two different numbers.
Yeah.
Unidentified life form
Yeah.
number, yeah,
One. 1, 1, and 4, or no, 2 and 4. 2 and 4.
he's 2 and 4, yeah.
But I thought it was an intro. That was a good intro, so I liked it. I liked it.
Not bad. You get to see the writer for the first time. You get kind of introduced to a lot of people. There's a lot of death, which seems odd for a kids show, which is why Kamen Rider doesn't always seem
Yeah.
like it's for the kids. But
Yeah.
I don't know if it just gradually got that way or if it was always meant for kids. Um,
Yeah.
its vibe definitely has changed, and they've gone way deeper into the marketing. But yeah, not bad for an episode 1.
Yeah. I liked it.
So let's go ahead and go to 2. Episode 2 was Henshin.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
think, well, I guess that's the tag from episode 1. They kind of show the next episode, a little snippet of the next episode. But Henshin is like transformation, I guess. It's kind of the catchphrase that Kamen Riders use when they transform into their armored form.
Okay.
So this one, the synopsis is: a drunkard witnessed a murder by an unidentified life form near a church. Meanwhile, Yusuke is bothered by the idea of fighting and unsure if it was right until he saw the daughter of one of the slain.
Mm.
That's all I got.
That's funny. I feel like I might capture it outside of the fight.
This is like the TV guide, a little synopsis thing that they have out for the episode. But
Yeah.
it's basically what we we pick up right after the first episode. So it's like Yusuke and Sakurako at a diner,
Mm-hmm.
and then she tells him he slept for a day. So
Yeah.
they're just chilling in the diner for a day.
That's what I thought when I first said, "Wait, oh, so y'all just been kind of like hanging out, sleeping in the booth, getting coffee and pancakes the whole time."
Yeah.
I was like, "What's happening?"
So
And I was
that
like,
seemed
"How
a
did?"
lot.
I was like, "How did he get to the diner if he's been asleep for that long?" Like, I was just like, "Wait, what's
Yeah.
going on?"
It's like she
But yeah,
drug him over there. I don't. That seems
yeah,
kind of weird because nobody else knew he was there. The detective finds him a little bit later.
yeah. So yeah, I would say that's the one part where I was like, "Okay, all right," but yeah,
Yeah, that's like kind of like when you definitely have an exposition in a show. They're like, yeah, and then he moved to this set. It's like, okay, well, that's how you
yeah,
want to do it. I guess that's how you do it.
yeah. The writers went out to lunch for that one.
Hey, this is the turn of the century. Give them a little grace.
You're right.
But anyway, the police start finding victims and animals drained of blood around the city. Um, and then this mom and her kid are talking about a priest, and they're like, I wonder if he's okay. And Yusuke just hears it, so he's like, I should check on that priest. And then he goes to the church to check on the priest. This has some really like clanky movement of the plot.
When you put it that way, I don't think I
It's
noticed that.
yeah, it's like he manages. It's a lot of overhearing. I guess this happens in a lot of TV shows, but it's like Yusuke just happens to be walking around and overhears a random mother and child talking about the priest
Yeah,
that seems sickly.
yeah,
Right after hearing the policeman talking about finding animals and people drained of blood that have been attacked by something,
yeah,
it's like I should go check on the priest. Let me go
yeah,
check on the priest.
yeah. That's funny. That's actually something I want to bring up when we talk about Sentai,
Yeah,
Super Sentai. Yeah,
yeah,
when we get there, I want to bring that back up. I should make a note of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's a lot of that. He sees the priest. The priest like uh, cowers at some sunlight that's coming through one of the stained glass windows. Um, Yusuke hears him, I think, talking in another language, but
Mm.
then just leaves. Um, so there's a lot of Ichijo, the detective, telling him that, or no, he figures out that, well, it's not hard to figure out that Yusuke is the Kamen Rider or the armored guy that helped him out at the police station. So he finds that out, tells him to take it easy, that he's a citizen and supposed to be attacked. Uh, the priest is actually life form number 3, which is like a spider, I guess.
No. The priest is like the bat vampire type of
Oh,
thing.
the bat vampire. Yeah, yeah,
The first one was the spider.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's 1 and 3. So 1 is the spider, 3 is the vampire.
Yeah.
Um, so let's see. The police get attacked by number 3, I think, and
Hmm.
then Yusuke shows up, and he's like, "I can help you guys with this," and he starts fighting him.
Yeah.
And then he kind of gets it handed to him. He gets
Yeah.
knocked out.
Yeah.
He actually gets knocked out of his armored form.
Yes.
And then the detective is like, "Hey, you need to kind of leave this to the people that are trained to protect the citizens, because
Like
you're
in
not
it.
supposed to be doing this." Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I don't remember if he said it, if the detective said it, or if his friend said. I think the detective said it, but like if you're gonna do it, then you need to be like all in or something like that. Like you gotta make that choice. And I think for the rest of the episode, he's like flashing back to that and like contemplating whether he wants to be all in or not.
Yeah,
Right?
I think the detective kind of says that he's not really he doesn't have the determination to do what
Yeah.
needs to be done.
Yeah.
And then it's not until they go to the funeral for the archaeologists
Yeah.
that were attacked and killed. And then he sees one of the daughters crying, and then he's like, "I don't want to see anybody cry like this anymore." So that
Yeah.
gives him the determination to come out at the end and actually start attacking.
Yeah. And I think for this one, he's fighting both of them at the end.
Yeah, he ends up fighting one, and then the other one shows up, and they're like, "Let's team up and take him out,"
Yeah.
which is smart on their part.
Yeah.
I think this is the first we see him in his red form in this one too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is the first time at the diner. He's like, "Yeah, I have a dream, and I'm actually supposed to be red. I feel like being red would be a lot stronger." Um, so he ends up getting that
Yeah.
form.
I don't even know how he unlocked red. Like I was thinking about that when I first saw it, and like in the first episode and he was white. I was like, I thought he was supposed to be red. I was like, why is he white? And I was like,
Yeah.
so at first I actually thought that when they changed the name and like he has a new suit, that's him like getting like a power up. But now I know it's a different person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different person at the beginning, but he basically gets forms. So it's just like power ups.
Hmm.
It's he gets the same things. It's just like a power up form.
Hmm.
So each form has strengths and weaknesses.
Okay.
So that's the red form. I don't think they ever call it by like the true name, so we'll just call it red form for now.
All right.
Um, I think it's supposed to be the might form, and then the white one is like a different form name. I forget what it
Hmm.
is.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Makes sense. That makes sense.
Also, the belt is an arkle. I don't know if they call that out in the episode or not, but it's called the arkle. That's the henshin belt or the transformation belt that he uses.
I don't think they did. I didn't hear them. I didn't notice them like make it a point.
Yeah.
So
So the end of the episode is number 1 and 3 fighting Yusuke in red form,
yeah.
and then the cop sneaks back in. I don't see how he's moving around at this point, but he manages to distract them with some shots,
Yeah.
and Yusuke manages to take out number 1 with
Yes.
some very strong kick. Keep that in mind because that's going to be very important in the mythos of Kamen Rider.
All right. Very strong kick. Got you.
Yeah, and they kind of like accentuate it a little bit. It's kind of like they zone in on that to
They
show you
did.
like This is a kick.
But it's a special kick.
It's a special. It's a special kick. It's a special kick.
They did. Like he kicked them, and then like his like foot outprint was like there.
Yeah.
Like it had some aura around it. I was like, ah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's pretty much the end of 2.
Yeah. It was cool. I think out of the first 4 episodes, this one probably had the least amount of like standout. I mean, outside of him sleeping for like 14 hours in the diner or however long in the diner. I was like, okay, that's weird. But outside of that, it was a pretty standard episode, kind of similar to episode 1. I think I would have liked to get more explanation as to like the switching of forms, but it's cool. I'm sure that's going to come later.
Yeah, I don't think they're. Well, I don't know because I haven't seen Kuuga, but I guess they're trying to leave a little bit of that mystery going. Is how I look at it.
Yeah,
it is kind of odd to be like, I feel like I should be a different color, and then he turns a different color. But storytelling, you got to do it somehow. So it's going. I do like how it's kind of just a continuation of the story. It's not really like a monster of the week thing. It's kind of like a drama that's going on, and I guess they're taking little story points and trying to dish it out little by little.
Yeah, it reminds me of I don't know if you watched the CW, but I mean, it's not really the same, but in terms of like monster of the week, but having an underlying story go with it, like Supernatural.
Yeah.
If you see, like the first season, I would say the first season, because that was more monster of the week type, like when they had different monsters to fight, because they actually did fight monsters, but like it was more so like that, because like they were kind of jumping around a little bit, but they still had their underlying story, and I think it's similar to that in a way, but I like it too. It's like yeah. So, but I will say it is keeping the mystery and it's keeping the intrigue, and it like for me it picks up in episode 3. So like that's where I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm in it. I'm in it.
Yeah. Speaking of 3, we can go to episode 3. I think this one was Tokyo. So episode 3 was Tokyo, which is Japanese for Tokyo.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So in this episode, basically Yusuke and Sakurako go to Tokyo. Detective Ichijo wakes up in the hospital with a note from Yusuke that's like, hey, I have my determination and I'm serious about this. But I've gone off to Tokyo. I'll be back though. Don't worry about it. So the police in Nagano have a bunch of meetings where they go over. I think this is where they start calling them unidentified life forms. And there's like 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think they've only seen 4 of them. And Yusuke is number 2 and number 4. So the white form is 1, and then the red form is number 4. Yeah, and then Ichijo tries to convince them not to attack number 2 and 4 because he knows they're Yusuke and he's trying to help. But the police are like, no, we're going to attack them all.
Which they do. Which they do. Yeah. They do. I'm trying to think what. Okay, no, go ahead. Keep going.
The unidentified life forms, I don't think we know their names yet, start popping up in Tokyo. So there's like 4 of them, I believe, that show up. And they kind of walk around and they're trying to figure out money, and the new noises are just discombobulating to them. And eventually, like 2 bikers come up to give them some trouble, and I think they start like harassing the one girl, and she's just completely murks one.
Like with the quickness.
Yeah.
That's oh.
Yeah.
I
was like, okay, well, I mean, they kind of asked for it, so what do you do?
They did. I don't feel bad, but it's like, dang.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's another time. What's that?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, she's like on that time the whole time.
Yeah.
I was like, yo,
Yeah.
she's about
And
business.
yeah, it's not like she just pops in and just like, I'm going to kill them. It's like they start messing with them at first,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
specifically her, and then it's like, okay, well,
yeah.
that's it.
I
But
mean, she's went on a rampage after that though.
yeah. But then Yusuke is just around and happens to hear it. So he runs over and then he transforms and starts fighting. Uh, let's see what else happens. In Nagano, though, uh, Ichijo he bumps into a woman that's in a red dress, I believe. And then
hmm
she says something to him in that foreign language. And he's like, that's odd. So he starts tracking her.
Yeah,
Uh, and then she disappears in this rose petal flurry.
yeah.
But he still tracks her down, and she's talking to number one, right? The spider dude.
No, he's talking to number three, the bad
Yeah,
guy.
number one got murked at the end of the
Yeah,
last episode. So number
yeah.
three, she's talking to him, and she's like, "Kuuga beat you," and then she kind of like takes him to this one abandoned warehouse,
Yeah,
and then eventually tells him to go to Tokyo.
yeah.
And the detective's about to shoot him, and then his phone goes off. So they're like,
Yep.
"Hey!"
hmm
And then they attack him.
Yeah, she let him live for whatever reason, but yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know why. I wonder why. Maybe let's say that later.
yeah, for story reasons. I don't
Yeah,
know. It's almost like she says something about like the game is about to start.
yeah. Oh yeah, like
So
don't waste time on him or something like
yeah,
that. Yeah, yeah.
so
Plot armor.
and then he still and then he still tries to go after them. At that point, I
Yeah,
would have been like, these bullets aren't doing very much. I think now's not the time.
yeah,
Maybe try to regroup and come back,
yeah.
or do something else.
Exactly. Tail them from
Yeah.
further away. But is that all of that episode? I think. Well, I mean,
No, because then at the end of the episode, Yusuke and the girl, um,
Tiger Girl.
yeah, start fighting, and then the police find them and then start opening fire on both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's kind of where the episode ends because they both get hit by like a barrage of bullets.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the scene I'm thinking about is in the fourth episode.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of go one right into the other.
Yeah. I think so. Because the scene I'm thinking about is I think it's the police chief or something like that. Or some dude like high up, he like saves him. He's like, "Are you okay?" Like, and then he keeps fighting, and then he's like, "Whoa, he's not a bad guy."
Yeah, that's episode 4. That's episode 4.
Okay, all right.
Episode
Oh,
3 is, hey, we're going to kill them all. And then they
yeah,
start shooting at all of them.
yeah. Okay, all
So,
right, all right, all right. Had to
yeah.
make sure. Had to make sure.
We can go ahead to number 4 if you want to, because they're kind of
A
one-two
continuation.
punch. Yeah.
Yeah, I will. Well, before I would say just for the number three, the part I like the fact that they're starting to expand a bit, and like this is what separates it from being the monster of the week type of thing. Is like one, they introduced the lady in the red dress. I'll call her Rose Petal Lady, and and like she seems like a leader, but also there's the one dude in the beginning that like resurrected all the monsters or whatever, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
and then the four unknown people who like transform. It's like, whoa, this is crazy. Now this has gotten like a lot bigger. Now I need to know what's going on, and like yeah, I think that's like that really hooked me in. So that's the part I liked about that one. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's still going.
Yeah.
The storyline's going.
Yeah.
It's You kind of can't knock it. It's a normal episode of Rider so far.
Yeah.
Not the best, not the worst. It's just like a continuation of the story. I do like how it's not just the same thing over and over. It's like the story is moving along.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
a bit rickety, but it's moving.
yeah. Yes, rickety is a good way to put that. Yeah. And the monster design is better for the girl's design. I like her design a lot.
Yeah.
Way better than Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
So episode
So we can go ahead to number 4.
yeah, episode 4.
So Shiso or Sprint. Um,
Mm,
so Yusuke and number 5 are fighting, and then they get shot at. Number 5, yeah, I think she's called number
mhm,
5 at this point. Gets
mhm.
shot in the eye.
Oof.
So I think she ends up being in like a sewer or something, and like gets the bullet out of her eye somehow,
Mhm,
but she can't see out of it, and she
mhm.
gets pissed.
Yeah, yeah, this is where she goes on the rampage. I think this is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now she starts going out,
Yeah.
going after like all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
She's
she
going crazy.
specifically calls out, she's like, I'm getting revenge for my eye because they shot my eye.
And then she runs away from her group.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, all right. She gets
That's
the
kind of the
point.
whole thing. She runs away from everybody all the time. So they can never catch up with her. Um, Bullets seem like a weird thing though, because it's like they don't really do much until they do something.
Yeah.
So it's like they kind of look like they tickle, like they just pop them off,
Yeah. It's like
but
plot device.
manages to take out her eye.
Yeah. It's a plot device. That's all
Yeah.
they are.
So
That's
anyway, Ichijo calls Yusuke and tells him to meet up in Tokyo. On the way, Yusuke comes across number 5, who just attacked an officer, and then I guess she made the officer crash his bike. So Yusuke
Mhm.
runs up, checks to make sure the officer is okay, and then just steals his bike.
Yes.
It's like, don't worry, I'm going to use it to track her down.
Hmm. And he tries his best. He tries his best to keep up.
Yeah. So
It
eventually he
doesn't.
gets caught by the detective and the 2 detectives.
Hmm.
But
Yeah. Didn't he try to go up like steps or something with the first spike and like it didn't
yeah,
work? And
yeah,
I was like seeing that it was a bit clunky and I was like, that should work. I said that definitely should work. But okay. Cause like they show him when you first okay, in the first episode, he's introduced on a like he has a bike. So obviously he knows how to ride a bike. And he seems like he's proficient in how to ride a bike because of the scenes they showed of him riding the bike. So I'm like, that should work. Like with him going trying to go up the steps, he seems like he knows his way around the bike. That should work. So and later on it comes back and I'm just like, yeah, the first one should have worked.
but maybe that wasn't a bike that goes up steps.
You're
And
right.
I'm being serious in this. Like some of
You're
them,
right.
like how cars have slicks. I assume bikes have different tires. Maybe that just the tread wasn't good enough to go up a step.
Mm. It's like the Pokemon bikes where you have to get the two different bikes. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
The acro bike and the mock bike.
yeah.
I got you. Okay, okay.
So I don't know. Maybe it just couldn't go up the steps. Like that could be a legit thing.
Yeah. You know what? Let's go with that. That's canon. Yeah.
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 So
Okay.
anyway, he gets caught by the detective. What happens? He gets brought back to the station, but while they're on the way to the station, they get reports of number 5 like just going ham on a bunch of other officers.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then Ichijo looks at the little letter that Yusuke left him,
Mm-hmm.
and then he ends up giving him the police bike, which is the Tri Chaser 2000, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tri
Isn't it like
Chaser 2000.
isn't it like the prototype that they've been working on or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's
Okay.
like the prototype bike for the police force, and he ends up letting Yusuke take that one, and then Yusuke uses that to track down the monster, and
Mm-hmm.
then starts going on this very BMX laid out course of a building and everything else. It's like perfectly set up for him to try all of his little jumps and drive on stuff.
I will
Uh,
say that was a little bit. I was like, "Oh, this is cheesy as heck." I said, "Nah." That's like, this is the most unnecessary thing ever.
But hey, new toy, you got to use it.
Hey, you know what? You're right. I'm not
And at the
mad.
end, he hits him with the bike. I think that's,
Yeah.
or he hits her with the bike. She
Yeah,
like
that's it.
tries to come at him, I think, and he's just like, "Ow."
Ow. Hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah. So then he transforms and they fight.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, on the way, I think before he gets to her, that's when he saves the other officer. And he's
Hmm.
like, "Are you okay, officer?" Uh, and then the officer's just like, "What? I'm not getting attacked." And then he just races off to hit the monster. So
Hmm.
later, when they get into a fight in the building and they get cornered, and then the officers come out and they're about to start firing at both of them again, the other officer comes out and he's like, "You don't have to fire." Or Ichijo shows up and then he's like, "Don't shoot." And they're still about to shoot, and then the other officer pops up and he's like, "You don't have to shoot."
Yeah.
So then they let him fight it out, and then
Yeah.
Yusuke finishes her as
Yeah.
she goes boom.
Yeah. I think he does
Another
the super.
special kick.
Yeah, super
Yeah.
special kick. It's SSK.
Hmm. It'll get a name. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah.
No future
Hey.
spoilers. I don't know if they say it in this season though, but it becomes a
Hey.
big thing.
I'm all one for
No.
giving nicknames out. I will come up with my own name quick. Yeah. So even if they give it an official name, I don't care. I'm gonna call it my special name.
Okay. I don't know. The official name I think is gonna hit. But those are the first 4 episodes of Kamen Rider Kuuga.
Yeah.
What do you think so far?
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm very interested to see one, the plot of like the monsters like themselves, because like they've met up, but it's like, what are they planning? Like what's about to happen? And like I'm very interested to see what happens with that, especially after seeing the design of the girl as she turns into like the, I guess, tiger form or whatever. That was pretty cool, and I was like, oh, I like her design. Maybe the other ones have some cool designs too, so I really want to see that.
Yeah.
And I want to see it. I want to see how much backstory, and I guess in the next 4 episodes they give for the actual Kamen Rider, like if they explain some more stuff or discover some more stuff. I think that's pretty cool. So I'm enjoying it so far. They got me hooked on the third and second episodes. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, yeah, all right, I can watch it. I can watch it. I can watch it. Yeah. So I like it. It's clunky. It's definitely clunky, but my type of clunky.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and transition over to Sentai, Super Sentai.
Hmm.
Uh,
Wait,
so
wait. What did you think about it? What did you think about the first
oh,
four?
I thought it was good. You're going back in time, so a lot of the special effects obviously are a little dated. I do
Hmm.
like I don't know if like is the right term, but it was definitely interesting seeing him transforming he had his pose to transform, and then his armor came on like every time he hit something, that's when a piece
Yeah,
of armor would come on.
yeah,
So I wonder if that's how they're going to keep it that way.
that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie,
For
that's
me,
cool.
it's interesting seeing the kind of the origins of how everything kind of started out. So
Hmm.
throughout this process, I'm going to be mostly looking at, okay, this is where this started.
Hmm.
Like this is where they started this trope. This is where this
Hmm.
trope started. This stuff got named here, and then it just kept going on. So I like it
I
so far.
see.
It's nice.
I see. That makes sense. Okay. Okay. So you
Yeah.
should point that stuff out if you notice something from like later on. I mean, I guess if you're not trying to spoil it, I guess that makes sense. But yeah.
Yeah, it's not trying to spoil it, and then I don't know if they're gonna like certain things might get named, but I don't know if it's named in the season or not, or if it's gonna come later on
Mm,
or not. So if it
mm,
does, then
okay.
I'm like, okay, yeah, this is where this originated from. But if it doesn't, then I'm like,
Okay.
okay, well, maybe it didn't. Maybe it's
Gotcha.
next
Gotcha.
season that something happens for the first time. I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay, that
Uh,
makes sense. I'm with it.
yeah, but technically, also each season is supposed to be unconnected.
Mm, okay.
Again, no future spoilers, but every season is supposed to be a story uh, by itself.
Okay, kind of like anthology. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. All right. So we can move to Super Sentai now. Nice.
So we're going to Super Sentai. So this is season 24 of Super Sentai, Mirai Sentai Timeranger. Super Sentai is usually a fighting force that comes to fight the forces of evil and save the world. And this is the 24th season. I don't think they've had, I'm not sure how big of a gap they've ever had between seasons, but this has been pretty consistently going on. Actually, yeah, if this is season 24, I think that started in, this was in 2000 and it's 25. I think they've already hit their 50th season like a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that math is kind of off, but yeah.
It's a lot.
The opening song for this one is Jiku, Mirai Sentai Timeranger by Kumi Sasaki. It's a song.
Yeah, I skipped it. I watched it the first time, and then I skipped it after that.
Yeah, it doesn't last with you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, can't really compare Kamen Rider and Sentai. I mean, you can, but it's like apples and oranges. But
Yeah.
for some reason, Kuuga just seems like it's fine being played and listening to. GQ is just like a song. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think it shows up in the show a lot of times, but it's fine.
Yeah. It's an opening.
The ending, yeah, the ending is Toki no Kanetai by Nuts. And that's also a thing.
Yeah.
Sentai usually has an ending thing. Usually they're dancing. It's just the thing they do.
Yeah. I think I skipped all the endings because I was trying to watch them all.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
Another fine song.
It's there.
Yeah. We'll talk about it more in the next season, but that's fine.
Yeah.
So each of these, so we'll start with episode 1. Each of these has a case file. So this is case file 1, Toki no Tobasha, which is like the time fugitive, I think is what it's written in English.
Okay.
Tobosha. I guess that makes sense. So we start out at the Time Bureau in the future, and cadets are learning about their jobs. And there's this gang leader that's about to get frozen. I think it's freeze compressed. But one of his henchmen is actually disguised as one of the Bureau people and ends up breaking them out. So there's this alarm that goes off. The captain that's training these cadets is like, hey, we got to make a squad and go back and make sure they don't break anything. So they do all of that. He picks 4 random cadets and they're about to go off. And then the Don and this henchman pop up in front of them. And it was all a ploy because they needed them to go out to stop them in order to get them to where they wanted to go. So it's like, in order to get back to the future, they needed them to try to stop them from going back to the future. And that causes them to go.
Yeah. Like they had to start up the whole time portal and like the whole launch sequence and all that. Yeah.
Which at first thought sounds very clunky, except for the fact that when they explode into each other and they go back in time and everybody wakes up, the captain flips on the 4 cadets, and you find out that that's actually another one of the Don's henchmen. So it's like that was all part of the plan to begin with. They wanted to get people that couldn't do anything in order to get them all back in time where they could have free reign over everything.
Yeah, because I think the in disguise captain picked 4 rookies.
Yeah.
Air quotes.
4. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then as soon as he does that, you find out that one of them is actually like an FBI agent or something like that. Like a special cop.
Detective, yeah.
Yeah, that was actually trying to find out what was going on, trying to track down all of these people, which saved them, but they still got knocked out and set up by by what's her name? Lily, I think.
I missed that. I'm gonna have to write their names down. I think I was trying to get through the episodes, so I didn't pay
Leela.
attention to the names. Leela.
Leela. I do have
Okay.
notes.
Okay. I'm gonna do that
It's
next
just
time.
I'm not following. So Leela is the one that disguised herself as the captain, tied
Yeah.
them all up, and left everything to explode.
Yeah.
She goes back to the Don, and Gian, I think, was his name. Um, but as they're waiting for them to explode, this person passing by, who is named Asami Tatsuya, sees the cadets in danger, helps free them. But for some reason, he looks exactly like Leela did, or their old captain.
Yeah.
So they're like, "No, you're still the person," and then they capture him.
Yeah. They beat him up.
Yeah, they beat him up, capture him, and they're like, "Lies! You're the person that got us stuck back here. You're
Yeah.
working with the Don."
Yeah.
So it's not until the Don and his henchmen start sending out their army, who
Yeah.
are have that summer Zenny.
The Zinni.
Yeah, they're like the putties of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So they're just like the face, or they have faces, but they're like a
Disposable
mass army.
henchmen.
Yeah, disposable henchmen.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
So like, go out and get us money. So they run out into town and start causing chaos.
Yeah.
And then the navigator Owl pops up, tack, and then he's like, "You need 4 people in order to transform for the first time, or 5 people to
5.
transform
Yeah.
for the first time." And they're like, "There's only 4 of us." So they end up coercing Tatsuya to help them transform because they need the 5th person,
Yeah.
even though he's from the time.
Yeah.
So they transform, fight the Zenny, and then that's it.
Yeah. And then like at the end, they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna take that morpher back. Thanks."
Yeah.
I say, "Dang, bro, you ain't got to do my man's like that."
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty rough.
Yeah, I was like, "Hey," I was like, "I like it. I like the realness of it." So yeah, honestly, I'm gonna go back and watch the American version of it, but I think that's a difference. That's like a slight difference than the American. I don't think they're as rough in the American version. I don't think so.
Probably not, especially if they're targeting like kids. That's kind of really mean.
Yeah, yeah, and especially like the topics that they were touching on, like in the later
No,
episodes. I was like,
they
nah.
touch on some stuff.
Yeah,
Like they get pretty deep, and we can finish episode 1 and talk about what we liked about that one. But
yeah,
here you find out that there's 5 Time Rangers. Red. There's always
yeah.
a red.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow, green, blue, and pink.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, 4 male, 1 female.
Mm-hmm. One lady.
Yeah, they're. I guess we can just call them morphers because everybody. That's kind of obvious what you're talking about. So
Yeah.
their equipment to transform is called the Chrono Changer,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of like a little wrist thing that they use.
Yeah.
What else gets introduced this one?
There's swords. Just
Yeah, their weapons are their Chrono Sabers and then the Vector weapons. So the swords are the Chrono Sabers, and then the gun type weapons are the Vector weapons.
Yeah. And I think they also introduced the idea, or I guess the mechanic of like they can't get help from the future. Because
Do
like
they do? I think that's next episode.
yeah. Well, no, this like I think they called for backup or something, but they can't get help. Like they can't send any help or equipment or anything like that. And yeah, and then in the next one something happens. But yeah.
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 So that was episode 1. Not bad to introduce, in my opinion, not bad to introduce the Rangers. I thought it was cool how they had kind of like the fake out at the beginning. It's like, okay, this is gonna be the Red Ranger, and then you're like, oh, he's turning on him. What? Um, I know sometimes they release all of this information in magazines months beforehand, so people will have pictures of all of the characters and stuff like that. So I'm
Yeah.
sure that was probably pretty cool for everybody to be like, but I thought he was a good guy,
Mm,
and he still does end up being a good guy.
yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool.
yeah. It's like a twist without a twist, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
and then the first little op to try to get the uh, Donello and everybody back into the past. I thought that was an interesting way to get it done. Uh, it almost seemed kind of forced until you kind of take a step back and you're like, okay, yeah, I get it. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I like it. I agree.
yeah, all right, we can go ahead into case file 2 then.
Yeah.
Case file 2, the unseen future. MIrai. For this one, the baddies have taken over because the prison teleported back into the past with them when everything crashed into each other. So they take the Chrono Changer from Tatsuya, and they tell him a little bit of that they're from the future, but I don't think he really believes them at that point. Um, and then he kind of goes off after they take the Chrono Changer from him, and I'm like,
Yeah.
peace out.
Yeah.
But while they're doing that, Jin suggests unfreezing the prisoners to help the family with their objectives, and I think they come up with the Lonez family. What are they called?
Yeah, they changed the name to like wait. To the Yeah, why did they change it to that? Is that the name of the prison?
Londers. Yeah, Londers was the name of the prison,
Okay.
so they became the Londers family
Which is weird.
in that time.
I don't know why they changed the name like that.
Yeah, I think before it was just the Donello family or something like that, and then
Yeah.
you changed it to that because of the prison.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that works. But then Jian suggests unfreezing the prisoners to use them as manpower. And then the first one that they unfreeze is Jekker, who's like a mad bomber.
Yeah.
Uh, so he blows up one building, massive casualties, I think, and then he threatens to blow up a ton of other buildings unless they give him
Mm-hmm.
a ton of money.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
that's a
works.
plan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's as far as plan goes, that's a good one, in my opinion.
yeah. So uh, then we find out Tatsuya, the Red Ranger, is actually a rich or a kid from a rich family, and his
Yes.
dad is trying to get him to take over the family business. But Tatsuya just wants to become a martial artist,
Mm-hmm.
and he had a wager with his dad to win a match, but he actually lost the match, so he lost the wager.
Yeah.
Uh, but he comes up with another idea that if he can save the money and the buildings, then his dad will let him do what he wants in the future.
Yeah.
Um, so he goes back to the other Rangers, and
Yep.
they're starting to get the news that they won't be able to go back to the future
Mm-hmm.
because if they go back, then all of the changes happening in the past would take effect and kind of screw everything up. So they have to
Yeah.
stay back here until they capture everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of like depressed. And
Yeah.
then Tatsuya comes back and gives them a pretty good speech. Like talking about fate and how they can change. Like they don't have to change the future; they just have to change tomorrow.
Yeah.
That kind of
Yeah.
stuck out with me. It was a pretty good speech.
It was good. I was half sleeping. I was like, whoa. It woke me up. I
Yeah, that
was
was
like,
a pretty good
yo.
because he's out
Yeah.
here talking about destiny and all of this other stuff, and they're like,
Yeah.
"You can't change it; it's already done." And it's like, "But we don't have to change it; we just have to change tomorrow."
Yeah.
Like, okay, bro. Like, I'm about to get up and do some stuff.
Right. Let me grab my chrono changer.
Yeah.
Honestly, jeez Louise. But
So
it worked.
yeah,
It worked.
so he gets them
Yeah.
hyped up. Yeah, and
Yeah. They went
that's a
out
pretty good one.
and saved the day. Like they found
Yeah,
all the then they find like what was it? They found all the bombs and put them in their briefcase and like
yeah. So they give him the briefcase saying that it's the money,
Yeah.
knowing that once he gets all the money, he's just going to blow everything up anyway, and that's what
Yeah.
he's about to do. And they're like, "You might not want to do that because we just gave you all of your bombs." So they had gone through, gotten all the bombs, and put them in briefcases,
Yeah.
so he couldn't detonate them.
Yeah.
Uh, I think this is where they first use the. Is it rebound? What is it called? Yeah,
Are you talking?
it's rebounding.
What's that?
So his seal gets broken in the fight because
Oh. I
they
got
start attacking him and they break his seal, which causes him to rebound, which is growing big, huge.
you. Okay.
And they're like, "What are we gonna do?" And then finally they get their time sleds.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. The time sleds from the ship come out.
Yeah, they get sent from the future, so somebody is sending them from the future.
The time sleds.
Yeah, those are coming from the future.
Oh, I thought those were already in the ship, and like it brought out they brought out the sleds, but they couldn't do much with it, and then they got the Zord.
No, the sleds. I think the ship gets destroyed.
Oh yeah, okay,
So
I might be
the
tripping.
sleds are actually, yeah, because they have this big robot that's like golfing and knocking them into the time portal.
Those are the
Like,
yeah
yeah,
yeah
it's
no
like
I know,
the sleds. He's like hitting them through the portal back to the past for them. Yeah,
yeah
because as soon as they come, they like Gatai is where the pieces come together in a robot.
yeah
So they fuse into the robot. There's an alpha build and a beta build. Those
yeah
are the two formations that they show this one. I think one's blue and one's red.
yes.
Uh, but as soon as they end up destroying the monster, which causes it to refreeze, they the time sleds go back.
So okay. That's a dumb mechanic, but I get it. I understand it. I get it. You know, you got to reuse
So
things.
yeah, so the
I
time
get
sleds
it.
go back. The time sleds go back. They
That's
don't
so
stay
dumb.
there.
That's dumb.
Right. That's how it is.
Yeah. Ugh. I wonder who's pushing the button though. I wonder who's sending it because like they never showed that, and like it was like like they made it a thing. They were like, "Oh, we can't get help," and then like somebody's like, "Oh, we just got a
Yeah.
report. We now can get some help," and it's just a mystery hand pushing a button.
Yeah. And I think that's actually that might be the last scene in this show. He's like,
Mhm.
I wonder who sent that support because we can't get any help.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And moving
Yeah.
forward, it's just that same hand, that
Yeah.
mystery hand saving the day for
Yeah.
whatever reason. But yeah,
So that
so
was
that's
yeah.
yeah, that's not that's number two, which is good. I think my favorite part might have been the speech. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that speech was a banger. Like that
yeah,
speech, I might have to record that one and just play it back every morning. That I'll wake up list, and that'll be my first track of the day. My first
yeah,
track of the day will be that speech for Red.
yeah. As you drink your glass of water, you're
Yeah.
like, "Yep,
So in the
all I gotta do is
future,
change tomorrow."
yeah. So in the future, their names are Time Red, Time Blue, Time Green, Time Yellow, Time Pink.
Yeah,
Those are the names.
yeah. Okay.
But
All right. So that's episode two. So episode
yeah,
three is. I think this is where we
Yuma,
start getting into like the topics.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is Yume no Kasakoru, Kasakudo, or Acceleration of Dreams. So now it feels like we're getting into the we have to introduce the characters. So we have our setup with one and two. So number three is like let's set up the main characters a little bit. So this is a green, I think, focused episode.
Um. No. This is
Blue.
blue.
Is he blue? Yeah.
Yeah, he's blue. Yeah. Green's the next one. Green and yellow are the next one.
Uh, green, I think would be the next one. But anyway, that's
Yeah.
future.
Yeah. We'll talk
So
about it
blue,
next.
So Tetsuya sets up a living space for because he won the wager with his dad. So he sets up this space for
Mm-hmm.
all of the cadets, so they're not sleeping under a bridge or wherever they were sleeping before.
Right.
And they kind of figure out what jobs they want to do so that they can earn rent.
Yeah.
So Shion, who is the green ranger, will
Mm-hmm.
be a repairman. Yuri, who is pink, a detective.
Mm-hmm.
Doman is yellow, would help Tatsuya, who is red. Tatsuya is the red ranger,
Yeah.
with a dojo.
Yeah.
He'll do self defense, and Tatsuya will do his dojo.
Yeah.
But Ayase, the blue ranger, doesn't come up with anything, and then he kind of gets mad when everybody starts asking him questions and
Yeah. Like
says they're
about like
digging
what?
into his business.
Yeah. Asking the questions about
Yeah.
like what he wants to do or like his dreams or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, I am going to save the world, but I'm not going to let you into my dreams and my
Yeah.
backstory. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Um,
We're a team, not that kind type of team.
yeah. So back at the bad guy's base, Keys is the new monster of the week, and Keys is a robber who steals money.
Mm-hmm.
And he steals this money by like infecting stuff with his tendrils and hacking into it. So it ends up being he's infecting the banker trucks and
Mm-hmm.
then driving them somewhere and then stealing the money.
Mm-hmm.
So the Rangers find out about it. They set up a decoy truck, which was a little bit confusing because Keys is like, I'm on to you guys. But he's on to the decoy. I guess it's not that confusing. They let him think he was on to them, but he was actually on to the decoy.
Mm-hmm.
So the decoy is Tatsuya and Ayase, and they start driving the car, the getaway car, and trying not to get hacked.
Yeah.
Uh, and during the driving, uh, Tatsuya gets hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and then Ayase takes over, and then he starts just whipping the wheel all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's pretty obvious he's a driver.
Yeah.
And I think he lets it go that he was a race car driver in the
Yeah.
past, and that was kind of he
In
wanted to give up on
the
that
future.
dream. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the
That's so
future
good.
past.
In the future bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's gonna be
Yeah.
confusing. Yeah. So in the future past, he was a race car driver.
Yeah. So it's too hurtful, so he wanted to give up on his dreams and never touch a steering wheel again.
Yeah.
And that's what he said. Bit melodramatic, but what are you gonna do? It's for
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah. Did he say why?
Uh,
Did he say why he wasn't a race like he stopped being a race car driver?
I don't
I
know
can't
because yeah,
remember.
he quit to join the force. I don't
Yeah.
remember why he quit though. Yeah, because he had quit already when he became a cadet.
Yeah. I might go watch it again and next episode mention it.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I forgot about that part.
Yeah,
So
I missed that part. Yeah, I missed that part. It's also.
so anyway, they buy enough time for the rest of the Rangers to deliver the money safely, and
Mhm.
then they all have a fight inside afterwards. Um, they break the seal. Keys gets giant.
Mhm.
They are actually no. They start by combining their weapons into the Voltec bazooka, which is a combination weapon. So they take all their weapons, combine them into this big bazooka, and then they
Okay.
fire it at him. And I think they're about to freeze him, and he's like, "No, I don't want to do that," and then rips off his little badge.
Okay. 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 I thought the combining of the weapons was the next episode, but it was this one. Okay.
Yeah, I think the combining of the weapons is on this one.
Okay.
Was
That
it?
makes sense.
I think so.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
No,
I think they
you're
combine
right.
them with this one.
Yeah, you're right because of how the next. I remember the next one, but so it's like because of how that one went, it had to have been this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe he didn't rip off his badge. Maybe that's the next guy. But anyway, same thing happens. They get into a fight. He turns big. They call out the Robo. They go through the two forms. They end up
Yeah.
blowing him up and freezing him.
Yeah.
And at the end of the episode, they go back and ISA becomes the driving service for their new venture, which they call Tomorrow's Research,
Yeah.
which is kind of a cover for them to help save
Yeah.
everybody and get the rest of the criminals back.
Yeah. 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 And also to like secret identities, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
3 birds, 1 stone, I guess.
yeah, but that's pretty much the end of that episode. It was a pretty basic episode. It's just,
Yeah.
hey, here you go.
Yeah. I don't have any standout moments for this one.
Yeah, I don't think there was much like continuation of the story. Like it doesn't seem like there's much continuation in like a main plot in this episode. I think it was just Monster of the Week. It's down. I guess there was backstory for Blue. That was pretty much the main objective of it.
Yeah. Which is something. It just didn't stand out for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the next one. That next one.
4.
That one stood out for me. I actually like this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did.
Zojijiji wa Isejin. Isejin. Which is like the hostage is an alien. Isejin. Yeah. So this is green? Yeah, green. This is green kind of focused. Green Ranger focus.
Yeah. I'll let you go. No, I'll let you go through the synopsis before I say anything.
So this is about Shion, who is the Green Ranger, Time Green. He's trying to help everybody, but he ends up getting in everybody's way, and then they get annoyed and send him on to the next person. And he does the same thing. He tries to help them, ends up being annoying or getting in their way or messing something up. And then eventually he comes across some stranger that asks for help. And he tries to help them. But the stranger is actually one of the criminals from the future, Nabal.
Yeah.
Who has been kidnapping kids for ransoms. They're doing a lot of ransoming in this series so far. But he's ransoming the little kids back to their parents for money, and that's his scheme.
Yeah.
So he ends up doing that with Shion, contacts the rest of the Rangers. He doesn't find out that he's a Ranger, and they're all freaked out about, like, if they find out, then they'll be able to come back to our base and get us. So he kind of takes it upon himself to free the rest of the kids. The rest of the Rangers feel bad because they kind of pushed him away, or they feel like they pushed him away. We find out that he is actually an alien, the last surviving alien from his home planet. And he grew up with scientists and researchers that were studying him, and that's kind of why he can't vibe with people correctly.
Yeah. He's like socially awkward.
Yeah. So he frees the kids. Everyone else shows up, helps him out. Yellow, I think, gives some on the job self defense training.
Which is weird because I'm like, yo, he was holding his own in the other 3 episodes. I don't understand, but
Yeah. I mean, they're a fighting force, so Solo is usually their main power, but
I guess
this is the one I think that rips off the badge right before he gets destroyed, so he gets big, or he gets frozen, so he gets big. Because he's like, I don't want to get big. How am I going to live how am I going to be able to live comfortably if I'm huge? And then at the last minute, he's like, well, screw it. If I'm going to get frozen again, I'd rather be huge. But they end up doing the same things. Green gets some really nice hits in. I think he does like a double. Does he dual wield blades?
Yeah. They've done that. I think Red dual wielded his blade, and I think
Well, red and blue teamed up last time, so they were like
Yeah.
slashing at the same time. I don't think
Yeah.
anybody's dual wielded. So
No, yeah,
uh,
red has.
he's dual wielded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Like when they first called out, when they first used their weapons and whatnot, they
Oh
had
yeah, they have the
red
special
and
moves.
yeah,
They got the
yeah,
time, like the what is it, like 9 o'clock or something like that.
yeah, something like that. They just
Yeah, yeah,
do
yeah,
different positions of the clock. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but green does his this time. So, and
yeah.
that's pretty cool. And then yeah, the rest of it kind of goes as the endings tend to go as far as the
Yeah.
fights.
They fight the main sized monster. They get him to the point where he's about to die. He rips off his patch. He gets big.
Yeah.
Mysteriously, the time robo comes from the future. They go
Yeah.
into their 2 stages, end up freezing them again.
Mm-hmm.
Then they get to the end, and I think Tatsuya is like, I should have known you were an alien because your hair is green or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, my hair has died.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah. He's like, I just like this color. It's like,
Yeah.
what?
So, I mean,
Yeah.
it was fine.
Yeah. Like, so for this episode, they when they had like when they were talking about the alien and stuff, they were like, alien? We don't say alien. Everybody's from our time,
Yeah.
like from all over the place. And I was like, what?
I was trying to remember if that was from this or not, because there was another
Yeah.
thing. I think it's from something else I watched that was like, well, technically you're an alien, right? Because you're from
Right.
Earth, which is in space. So what's an alien?
Right. Right. And I was like, all right,
What
that's funny. I was like, that's funny. But
yeah,
they
that
had
becomes
that.
like a reoccurring thing. It's like, he's not, well, stop calling him an alien. Why are you using that word?
Yeah, everybody
Yeah, that was a
every
pretty good
time he
one.
says that.
Yeah.
But okay, so at first I was saying this was like a yellow and green episode because I mean mainly green, but also yellow because green is like looks up to yellow because from futures past, yellow is a like you said the, the martial artist, but he's
Yeah.
like famous, but he's like famous back then, like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
or he's famous in his time. And
Oh, he was famous. Yeah.
yeah, and so Green knows, and like he's like a big fan because like they have that scene in the first episode where they like first
Yeah.
actually run into each other, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm a big fan. You're his name," and then like they go and then now we're here. So when he was like getting on everybody's nerves, he went off to like find the Yellow Ranger, and like he was trying to help him out, and he's definitely being annoying, but he was like, "Dude, I'll help you later," and like he was like he said something about being friends or like you're just in the way or annoying or something, and like that hurt Green's feelings, and like he went off. That's when he ran into the monster and stuff. But I thought
Yeah.
because like they had like because of the relationship, like I was like, oh, it's kind of both of them a little bit more so green than yellow. But because later on he's like, yeah, man, don't be messing with my friend. Like we're all in this together. You're our friend. Like we're here for you. And like that really was like a really big moment for Green because of how he grew up and stuff. I was like, oh, this is a deep subject: friendship and
Yeah.
aloneness and isolation. I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, let's talk about it. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the first episodes of MIrai Sentai Timeranger.
Yeah.
For me, I haven't seen this one either, so it's a lot more of the comparing this season with the future seasons. Um, a little bit more. There's something that happens in the future that I'm not going to spoil because no future spoilers.
Right.
But I'm looking forward the most to learning about this squad because I haven't watched it before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess it's cool to see what things get brought over season to season too. But Sentai, I think, was already established at that point, so it's
Yeah.
they already have a bunch of the stuff they're reusing, like the combining weapon that was
Yeah.
from Zoolanger. I don't know if that was the first season that did it, but like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is
Yeah.
Zoolanger, and that's season. I think that's probably like 5 years before this one or something like that. So
Okay.
already had the combining weapons and some of these other things.
So so wait, so why didn't oh wait. Yeah, you said we started with this because it was running at the same time as the Kamen Rider.
Kuuga. Yeah.
Kuuga. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Then never mind. I was gonna ask a question, but that answers my question. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in the future, maybe we can go back to the past.
Yeah. My favorite ones are in the past.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My all-time favorite is the well, I don't know the Japanese name for it, but the American one, Lost Galaxy for Power Rangers.
I don't know which
Top-
one Lost Galaxies would be.
Top tier, bro. Top tier. That's the one where they have the suits and like they have their different colors, and in the middle it's white with the zigzags, and like the arms are the color, and like the helmet, and then they have the quasar sabers.
Mm.
And like they're in space, and like a pterodome type of thing. It's like a how do I explain it? I don't know. I don't know if the Japanese one and the American one like coincide on that aspect of it, but I know the American version they were in like a pterodome in space. And like it started off
It looks
like
yeah, it looks like that's based off the 22nd. Isn't that Zeo? Not Zeo.
no, it's not
Lost
Zio.
Galaxies. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Zeo was right after Zyuranger or whatever.
Zyuranger, yeah.
Um, so this is season. It looks like that would be season 22, which would be 3 years before this one.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
no, 2 years before this one, because this is season 24, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Because if the American one went off of that and it came from that, the next one after Lost Galaxy was the Top Speed Rescue, Rescue Force something. The rescue people when they're like the emergency vehicles, and then it was the time for America, like the Time Force Rangers for the American. So yeah, you're right. Yep.
Lightspeed Rangers, and that's
what it was.
Sentai Go-Go 5.
Yeah.
So it wasn't Bokenger like I thought.
Yeah, Lightspeed Rescue. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, that one was really good too. I'm not gonna lie. That one I got some core memories. That one was good. Okay. Yeah. Oh man. Oh man. All right. Anyways, we're good. We're gonna have to definitely go back. We're gonna go back in time. It's a wrap. We'll
go back.
Yeah. After we finish this, we're gonna go back and watch.
We'll go back to the past, and then we'll catch back up.
Yeah. Future's past, if you will.
Yeah. So I guess that's it for this episode.
Yeah.
Pretty lengthy. I might have to come up with a way to shorten the little episode summaries.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a good start to both series. You kind of get the differences between the two, Sentai and Kamen Rider.
Mm-hmm.
They're both pretty. They're not too bad at this point. So
yeah. I think they're. I don't want to say not acquired taste. It's just if you can get past the quality of life changes from like the shows back then and the fact that they're aimed at kids, then you'll definitely enjoy it, I think. So yeah. I think as we get to like the more recent releases, it'll be a little bit better. I hope. But yeah, we should probably say this in the beginning, but like, yeah, spoilers moving forward. So like, we'll have like the episodes, and if of course you're watching along, watch the episodes that we like specify in the title or description before you join in. Yeah.
And I'll add timestamps for everything at the beginning from now on, probably, so you can skip around where you want to. And then stop where you are, and then catch up, and then you can continue on. And that'll be the plan. So you're doing it one episode at a time. You can watch one episode's chat, and then pause it, come back when you finish the next episode.
Absolutely. That'd be the best bet. And if you like And share with us your favorite moments in the comments and everything like that. Let us know what you like so we can read it and we could talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, I think that is episode 2 in the wraps. Thank you for spending your time with us. It was
Yeah.
another long one, but definitely worth it.
Yeah.
So we will catch you on the flip side.
Yo.
Thanks.
Laters. Peace.